So it's been quite a while since I did sit down and make a top 5 video. There's no real reason for that. I just felt like over the kind of golden age of Fallout 4 mods, it was more important to make them then because we were getting so many more mods. Now when things slow down, it's easier to look at each mod individually. Regardless, there are still a few categories that I feel like I didn't really make top 5s on that I do want to go back and do that just to help clear things up if people want a reference video to look back on in the near future or even far in the future. So today that video is going to be on the top 5 revolvers for Fallout 4. This is actually one I was thinking about making for quite a while because I love revolver mods. They're some of my favorite pistol mods in general. I don't really like the traditional pistol mods, but revolver mods, they're just something awesome and fun about them. I feel like they have a little bit more of a unique or distinctive characteristic that makes them stand out even more and fit into Fallout 4's world so well. Regardless, that's pretty much everything to be said on the topic. If you guys do enjoy the video, I really encourage you to consider subscribing, but with that, let's just jump right into it. So up first, we do have the 10mm Revolver Colt 6520. So basically what this is going to add in is, well, a 10mm revolver into Fallout 4. This is something that's appeared in some previous Fallout games and now is finally making its debut in Fallout 4. It does quite literally look like someone took a 10mm pistol and tried to turn it into a revolver. It has wood dressings and all around just looks like a pretty cool gun. That's one of the reasons I like it so much. I think it looks pretty badass and it honestly has that whole nostalgic feel behind it. Even if you never played any of the old Fallouts where this gun did come from, you could totally tell that it is kind of a mix mash of something from Bethesda. It looks like it fits into the Fallout 4 world because it looks so similar to the iconic 10mm pistol. Beyond that, it's a relatively simple gun. It is well polished in the sense that it does kind of everything works. The animations are on point. It does have a pretty decent selection of different weapon modifications. You could change different barrels and kind of have a few different receiver options as well as different grips with different textures, which is nice. But at the end of the day, the reason I really like this gun is for the whole nostalgia effect. I think it just is a cool looking gun that brings back some memories if you played some Fallout games, and if not, it's definitely a cool modified variant of the 10mm pistol that I think just fits very well into your Fallout 4 world. So up next we have the M2045 Magnum Revolver Rifle. I promise that's it, all the other guns have pretty short names. This gun actually has a pretty cool backstory behind it, and that's one of the reasons I do like it so much. Unfortunately, it does kind of suffer from some other minor issues like the animations not working perfectly, although I feel like it's really well implemented into the world, and although it kind of is a stretch calling it a revolver, or maybe not, but it's not a traditional revolver pistol, this one's actually a rifle. Again, the reason I think this is so cool is because the mod author did take a lot of time to kind of craft a story around this gun and then implement it into the world, kind of supporting that story. So what is that story? Well, basically the Magnum Revolver Rifle was developed as a way to kind of just blow people away on the battlefield. It was meant to be a crazy high caliber, crazy powerful revolver that soldiers would use before the Great War. Well, unfortunately, it was just a little bit too powerful for those soldiers to use, so it just was impractical for a normal human to use. Well, fortunately, with the onset of power armor, it found new life and people started being like, wow, this is actually a very viable gun. And even more so, it was very viable against power armor. It required power armor to operate due to the massive recoil, but on top of that, it was great at piercing enemies' power armor. So as a result of that, the Brotherhood of Steel tried to gobble all of them up. They didn't want anyone else getting this technology, especially because it would be so useful against them. And that's pretty much how you'll find the gun in the game. You'll find a few scattered around, but mostly you'll find them at some of the different Brotherhood of Steel locations. Also, you'll find them at the Brotherhood of Steel traders and on some upper level Brotherhood of Steel enemies. The gun itself does have a few interesting weapon mods that make it stand out, but nothing super crazy totally changing around the gun. All around, it's a pretty cool and unique weapon, and again, I do really like the backstory behind it. Definitely a lore friendly gun mod if that's what you're looking for, and honestly just a cool one all around. So up next we do have the M1870 Gasser Revolver. So this is actually my personal favorite on this list. I have the most fun using this weapon, and all around it's pretty much just a revolver added into Fallout 4. It is meant to be kind of one of those old-timey revolvers. It's a single action, so after each and every shot you're gonna have to cock it back. On top of that, it adds in some custom sounds as well as its own ammo type, which you're gonna have to craft, and that is gonna be an 11.25mm round. The gun itself does pack a pretty powerful punch, so although you do have to cock it back back after every round, you're definitely going to be laying down some serious hurt to anyone that you do actually land shots on. I think my bias towards this gun, or the reason I really just love it so much, is because of how cool and unique it feels in Fallout 4. You have so many more modern and kind of almost futuristic weapons in the game, and then having this gun that's so thrown back to literally 1870 is pretty cool, and it makes you just stand out as a character. The gun itself has a bunch of different pistol modifications, including you could change like the whole color of it to be gold or silver. You could change the different barrel lengths, and all around I just think it's a pretty well polished gun that I really enjoy using. So as the runner-up on this list, we do have the Handmade Revolver. I imagine a lot of you guys thought this would be the winner, but I actually prefer some other weapon mod to this one. So this is a mod by Axis that is actually based on some concept art by Bethesda, so you know it is pretty lore-friendly right off the bat. Basically, the reason I love this mod so very much is actually the weapon customization options it does have. You can really transform this gun from kind of being a very close range, like pull it out and just deal a few shots really fast that you're probably going to be really inaccurate, but almost acting as a revolver shotgun, or you can actually do this in medium to almost long range settings. You can put on long barrels, you can put on short barrels, you can put on bull barrels, you have full stocks, short stocks, you have different bayonets, a ton of different receivers and grips, and all around I really love all those customization options. It allows you to really transform this gun and make it your own. On top of that, with Axis mods, we always have blue tape and very high quality textures. The textures on this gun do look phenomenal and really are on a level of their own. I feel like this should be the rule because all of his mods just look so good and so sharp in the game, both in third person and in first person. All around, this is a very good revolver mod, and this was by far my favorite revolver mod up until just a little bit ago. I think it's definitely worth a download to anyone's game, even just to populate some of the level lists, because it's really fun to see this gun and all the different modifications and kind of versions of it you can find in the world. You'll find raiders using ones that are meant for really long range or using ones that are meant for really close range, and it's just really cool to see that kind of customization in real life. So last but certainly not least, we have the .223 revolver. So basically what this is going to add in is the iconic revolver from Fallout 2, and I gotta say, this is by Skibida. He did kind of take a break from modding and learn some new skills and is back, and I think this is one of the best mods he's released in a long time. This gun looks absolutely amazing. That's one of the reasons it's so high up on this list. I just think it looks like a very cool and badass revolver mod. Like, a lot of the mods have high texture quality and all that, but this one just genuinely looks cool when you're using it, and it is honestly a ton of fun to use. It does have a ton of different weapon customization options, although I don't really feel like where that is the highlight here. I just feel like all these weapon customization options make the gun look even cooler than the one prior. All those different barrel extensions just are so unique looking and different than other mods out there that it really makes this stand out as a revolver that you're using. It has a very bulky and almost bullish feel, and it does pack a serious punch. There are also two major options for this, one of them making it double action, one of them making it single action. Obviously the single action version is going to do way more damage, and it's just really nice to have those kind of options. And then last but not least, the real reason I really like this mod, even it's so simple, but the paint jobs on this are really cool. There's technically three of them, one being a clean, one being a gunner, and one being kind of a fiery one. But when you put those paint jobs on, the gun just looks so much cooler, and it really just stands out as just a real accomplishment of texture and model quality. All around, I think this is one of my most enjoyable weapon mods thus far. Also, it has amazing integration of see-through sights. I think this is one of the best integrations of that mod that I've seen in a mod pretty much in my entirety of doing this. It was so satisfying to use those see-through sights. Regardless, that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed as always. I hope you guys had a good kind of Thanksgiving week. As always, I thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.